The 16 latest mysterious and strange discoveries, recently challenging all scientists. Understanding. Welcome back to the 10 Minutes Discovery channel. Dear friends, in the vast world we live in, there are things that seem like they only exist in science fiction, but are actually happening in real life. Scientific mysteries yet to be solved. Strange phenomena that challenge the very limits of human knowledge. In recent years, as technology keeps advancing and scientists gain access to the most modern tools, astonishing discoveries continue to emerge. From unidentified signals coming from the depths of space to underground structures that don't belong to any known civilization. Why have some animal species thought to be extinct for millions of years suddenly reappeared? Could it be that we still don't fully understand the planet we call home? In today's video, we'll explore 16 of the most bizarre and puzzling mysteries discovered recently. Phenomena that have been baffling the scientific community and even inspiring wild hypotheses. If you love science, are passionate about exploration, and always curious about unanswered questions, don't take your eyes off the screen. Because what you're about to see will not only amaze you, but may also change the way you view the world around you. Let's begin this mysterious journey right now. The 500-million-year-old iron hammer. In June 1936, an ordinary couple, Max Hahn and his wife Emma, went on a simple picnic near a waterfall area in the old town of London, Texas. Little did they know that they would become the center of one of the most mysterious and controversial discoveries in modern archaeology. While climbing along a cliff, they stumbled upon a strangely shaped rock. A piece of wood seemed to be embedded inside the hard stone. Driven by curiosity, they decided to take the rock home. And that seemingly spontaneous decision would open a story that stunned the entire scientific community. When carefully chipping away at the rock, they uncovered an unbelievable object. An iron hammer with a wooden handle, perfectly encased inside the stone. Yes, you heard that right. A man-made hammer completely embedded in solid rock. The immediate question arose, how could a human-made tool exist inside a rock layer dated to be approximately 400 million years old? The mystery deepened when carbon dating and material analyses revealed that the hammer, especially its iron head, could be over 500 million years old. Dating back to an era when even multicellular life was just beginning to emerge on Earth. Not only that, but the wooden handle had already started the fossilization process, clear evidence of the object's unusually ancient age. What puzzled scientists even more was the hammerhead's composition. 96% pure iron, a refinement level far beyond modern technology, and yet it showed no signs of rust after hundreds of millions of years. So, who made this hammer? Could this be proof that a human civilization existed and thrived hundreds of millions of years ago, only to vanish without a trace? Or could it be evidence of an extraterrestrial civilization that once visited our planet in the distant past? Hypotheses ranging from evolutionary theories to time travel and even alien intervention have been proposed to explain this phenomenon that defies current scientific understanding. But as you know, none of these have yet provided a definitive answer. The amazingly well-preserved 2,000-year-old bog mummy. Imagine taking a walk through a quiet bog in the Danish countryside. The air is crisp, the ground damp, and the mud thick beneath your feet. Suddenly, a discovery that would shake history is revealed before your eyes. A human body lying motionless, seemingly just recently deceased. But no, this is not a victim of a modern crime. It's a corpse that has existed for more than 2,000 years. This is the strange and haunting story of the Tollund Man, the most famous bog mummy ever found. In 1950, while harvesting peat in a Danish bog, a group of workers unexpectedly uncovered the body of a man curled up with a noose wrapped tightly around his neck. The expression on his face was eerie. No pain, no fear, just as if he were peacefully sleeping. The chilling sight sent shivers down everyone's spine. The police were immediately called to the scene, suspecting foul play. But the truth was far stranger. Archaeologists quickly got involved, and after extensive analysis, they reached an astonishing conclusion. This body didn't belong to modern times, but to a man who lived in the 4th century BCE, more than 2,300 years ago. They named him Tollund Man, after the site where he was discovered. What shocked the world was not just the mummy's age, but the unbelievably perfect state of preservation. His hair was still intact on his head, his beard full, and his skin remarkably preserved, despite more than 2 millennia passing. So how did this body withstand the test of time? The answer lies in the bog environment itself. The acidic peat combined with a lack of oxygen prevented bacteria from decomposing the soft tissue, preserving the body down to the smallest detail. But the mystery didn't end there. The death of Tollund Man raises countless unanswered questions. Why was he hanged? Why was he found in a curled position? And what explains the strangely serene expression on his face, as if he accepted his death peacefully? Researchers believe he may have been sacrificed in a religious ritual, a practice that existed in Iron Age Europe. But that remains only a theory. Tollund Man's true identity, who he was, where he came from, and why he was chosen as an offering, remains a mystery to this day. More than just a mummy, Tollund Man is a window into the past, where ancient people practiced rituals that today we can only imagine. His peaceful expression as he left this world is like a whisper from history, reminding us there are still countless things about the past we don't fully understand. Was Tollund Man an ordinary person sacrificed? Or was he someone important sent off to the afterlife through a sacred ceremony? That's a question humanity continues to search for answers to. The strange object on Saturn. If you think Earth is the only planet with fierce and mysterious storms, get ready to be amazed by what's happening on Saturn, the 6th planet in our solar system. Recently, NASA's Cassini spacecraft sent back the clearest images ever captured, revealing an astronomical phenomenon that has puzzled scientists for decades. A massive storm shaped like a hexagon, located right at Saturn's North Pole. This isn't just an unusual natural occurrence, it's one of the greatest cosmic scientific mysteries today. The giant hexagon isn't a new discovery. In fact, Cassini first recorded it years ago, but only recently, with advanced technology and higher resolution, has NASA been able to capture short, colorful videos showing detailed, intense movement inside this strange atmospheric structure. Simulations show that the storm's wind speeds reach up to 200 miles per hour, far exceeding the strongest storms on Earth, even about 50 miles per hour faster than a Category 5 hurricane. What astonishes scientists the most is the storm's perfectly hexagonal shape. In nature, a clearly defined and stable hexagon is incredibly rare, especially in the chaotic atmosphere of a gas giant like Saturn. Yet here, the hexagon not only exists, but has maintained a stable structure for decades, possibly even a century, according to Andrew Ingersoll, a member of the Cassini research team at Caltech. He explained, "A storm on Earth usually lasts about a week, but storms on Saturn can last for decades or longer." Launched in 1997, Cassini entered Saturn's orbit in 2004 and has since continuously sent valuable data back to Earth. To capture images of the hexagonal storm, Cassini spent 10 hours flying in continuous observation, recording every moment of the planet's atmospheric motion. The images were then processed using color mapping techniques, helping scientists distinguish different parts of the storm's structure. To the naked eye, the images may appear bronze and green, but NASA is still conducting deeper analysis since the difference between spectral imaging and true color remains a scientific question requiring more time. So the question remains, what creates this perfect hexagon in such a turbulent environment like Saturn's? Is it an extremely rare physical phenomenon, or are there mysterious forces at work that we have yet to understand? For now, the answer is still unclear. But one thing is certain, Saturn is not only stunningly beautiful with its famous rings, but also hides mysteries beyond human imagination. The giant sword. Can you believe there's a sword nearly 13 feet long, weighing up to 33 pounds, forged in the 15th century, that has made many wonder, was this the weapon of a giant? This is not a product of imagination, but a real historical artifact from Japan called the Norimitsu Odachi, known as the Steel Monster among the legendary swords. When you look at this colossal sword, you're immediately drawn into unanswered questions. Who wielded it? Why forge such a massive weapon? Typically, odachi, or great longswords in ancient Japanese culture, measured about 3 feet long, already challenging for warriors of the time, considering the generally modest stature of ancient Japanese people. But Norimitsu Odachi is an extraordinary exception, almost beyond the realm of reality. At nearly 13 feet long, this blade couldn't be used in a conventional way. Even drawing the sword from its scabbard posed a challenge. So many speculate that this sword was not made for battle, or if it was, its owner must have been a person of extraordinary size. This isn't just baseless speculation. Some ancient Japanese texts recorded stories of giant warriors, men of towering height and incredible strength, who wielded swords far larger than typical weapons. If there really was a warrior over 6.5 feet tall, with immense muscle and superhuman power, it's entirely possible he could have wielded the Norimitsu Odachi. No need to imagine too far. Just picture a giant warrior swinging a sword as long as a flagpole, enough to tear through enemy ranks, and you'll understand why this sword became a terrifying legend. However, not everyone believes Norimitsu Odachi was ever used in real combat. Some theories suggest this giant sword might have been created solely as a symbol of victory, meant to inspire troops before battle. Others think it was a prize-winning masterpiece in a swordsmith competition, showcasing the pinnacle of Japanese craftsmanship at the time. There's even an intriguing legend related to psychological warfare. A cunning strategist ordered the forging of this enormous sword and deliberately placed it where invading enemies could easily see it. When the invaders approached and spotted the weapon's monstrous size, they panicked, believing the land was guarded by giant warriors. This fear made them retreat without fighting, turning Norimitsu Odachi into a symbol of both intimidation and strategic genius. Whatever the true purpose of Norimitsu Odachi, it remains one of the greatest testaments to medieval Japanese metallurgy and the spirit of Bushido. Whether as a weapon, a symbol, or a tool of psychological warfare, Norimitsu Odachi has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on the history and legends of the land of the rising sun. The hidden Mercury River beneath the pyramid. Imagine stepping into an ancient, mysterious city that was once the dazzling center of Mayan civilization, located just about 30 miles from Mexico City. This is Teotihuacan, a name given by the Aztecs meaning the place where the gods are born. In what was once the largest city of ancient America, archaeologists have uncovered one of the strangest and most eerie mysteries ever recorded. A river of liquid mercury hidden deep beneath the stone, right under the pyramid of the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl. The story began in 2003, after an unexpected heavy rainstorm swept across Teotihuacan. Archaeologist Sergio Gomez Chavez went to inspect the area and stumbled upon a small sinkhole right in front of the Temple of the Feathered Serpent. Shining his flashlight down, all he saw was thick darkness, but his intuition told him he was facing something monumental. With a rope tied around his waist and the help of his team, Gomez was lowered into the pit, which led to a mysterious tunnel sealed off for nearly 1,800 years. Supported by Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, he began planning an excavation. After years of meticulous work, using ground-penetrating radar, 3D scanners, and remotely operated robotic vehicles, the team cleared over 2 million pounds of earth from a tunnel approximately 330 feet long. The findings included tens of thousands of ancient artifacts, jade figurines, crocodile teeth, jade masks, jaguar bones, but what shocked the world was the discovery of pools of liquid mercury in the tunnel's final chamber. Mercury, a highly toxic liquid metal, was not only dangerous but incredibly rare in ancient times. Experts believe the ancient Maya extracted mercury from cinnabar, a scarce and difficult-to-mine red ore. So why would they go to such lengths to bury this deadly substance underground? Some archaeologists think mercury symbolized a supernatural river leading to the afterlife, possibly marking the site of Teotihuacan's first royal tomb, the resting place of the most powerful kings yet to be found. Not only mercury, but the tunnel's ceiling was coated with traces of luminescent metal powder, reflecting like stars in the night sky. Researchers suggest the entire journey through the tunnel may have been designed as a ritual reenacting the soul's passage to the other world, where it must cross the sacred river to reach the gods. The dense concentration of artifacts in the last three chambers strengthens the theory that this place could have once been a noble or royal burial site. To this day, the Mercury River beneath the Pyramid of Quetzalcoatl remains an unsolved mystery. But one thing is certain: nowhere else in ancient Mesoamerica has such a large quantity of mercury been found, and its presence has sparked numerous hypotheses about beliefs, power, and funerary rituals in the Teotihuacan civilization. If we say this site is not just an archaeological relic, but a history book yet to be fully written, where every layer of earth uncovered reveals new stories about humanity, mythology, and secrets buried for millennia, it would hardly be an exaggeration. The 5,000-year-old stone tomb beneath the ground. The Soto Stone Tomb is an underground architectural site located in Trigueros, Andalusia, Spain. Also known as the Underground Stonehenge, this megalithic monument was constructed between 4,500 and 5,000 years ago and is one of about 200 ancient burial sites in the province of Huelva. The tomb consists of a circular mound with a long passageway leading to a chamber where 8 human skeletons were found along with various artifacts, including cups, bowls, plates, daggers, and marine fossils. What makes this tomb truly unique is the presence of carvings and paintings on some of the standing stones lining the passageway and chamber. These images depict humans, cups, knives, and geometric shapes, offering a glimpse into the beliefs and customs of the people who built and used this tomb. The origins of Neolithic tomb construction in Europe remain a mystery. However, we do know that the Neolithic revolution began around 12,000 years ago in the region now known as the Middle East, but the development and spread of tomb architecture in Europe is still unclear. By the 5th and 4th millennia BCE, passage tombs became more common, possibly originating from earlier tomb styles in Eastern Europe. The appearance of these megalithic tombs likely started on the Iberian Peninsula before spreading northward to areas of Atlantic Europe. Soto was discovered in 1923 by Soto Murillas, who was planning to build a new house on his land. He quickly realized he had stumbled upon an ancient site and contacted German archaeologist Hugo Obermeier, who excavated and documented the tomb from 1924 to 1926. While Andalusia has approximately 1,650 Neolithic burial sites, the Soto Stone Tomb is considered the most unique because it stands isolated and differs from the concentrated architectural styles found elsewhere. Viewed from the outside, these tombs typically feature a circular mound with an east-west oriented entrance leading to an underground corridor. This corridor, known as the passageway, usually connects to a designated burial chamber. Inside Soto, the passageway and chamber form a continuous and gradually expanding gallery. The stone columns within the corridor and chamber are decorated with megalithic art, often accompanied by schematic images. This artwork may have been created during construction, or more likely while the tomb was in use. In recent years, a team of researchers from Portugal, Spain, and the United Kingdom conducted a comprehensive study of the carved and painted stones inside the tomb. They employed various techniques, such as Raman spectroscopy, to record and analyze images that most previous scholars had overlooked. More than 60% of the tomb's standing stones feature carvings and traces of pigment, revealed through photographic measurement techniques. These images include a variety of motifs, such as circles, daggers, human figures, cups, geometric forms, and circular patterns, providing insight into social changes during the Neolithic period, especially in the context of the introduction and use of copper and bronze weapons. The research team discovered that some carvings were made by reusing an old large standing stone, while others were created during or after the tomb's construction. They also found some paintings made with red ochre, a pigment used throughout prehistory. Researchers believe these images may have had different meanings and functions depending on their location, orientation, and visibility within the tomb. The presence of red pigment applied to the carvings suggests a deliberate act to enhance the visibility of certain motifs. The team is currently investigating whether this application was solely for visual enhancement or if the pigment added additional significance or power to the carvings. The mysterious alien door. On May 7, 2022, NASA's Curiosity rover captured a remarkable image on Mars that stirred excitement among scientists and the online community alike. The photo showed a strange structure resembling a mysterious door carved into the rock with perfectly defined edges, prompting many to imagine it as an entrance to an alien dwelling. Taken at the Greenhoe Pediment area, known for its complex geological features, the image sparked widespread speculation on social media. Some suggested it could be the entrance to a mine shaft or even a portal to another universe. This photo inspired numerous science fiction stories, with many believing the door might be a shelter for Martians or a sign of extraterrestrial life. However, scientists offered more realistic explanations. Some researchers believe the structure is simply a natural crack formed by stress forces acting on the rock, causing it to fracture. Furthermore, although the photo suggests a relatively large structure, the actual door may only be a few centimeters or several inches tall, a detail the image doesn't clearly reveal. Interestingly, just days before Curiosity took this photo, Mars experienced its largest recorded earthquake on May 4th, raising questions about whether these events might be connected. Scientists are still studying and analyzing the quake to better understand its causes and effects. Regardless of the outcome, unusual images from space always spark human curiosity about the possibility of life beyond Earth. A recent example is China's Yutu-2 rover discovering a block-shaped structure on the Moon, which led some to imagine an alien hut. However, after thorough analysis, experts explained it was simply a rock with an unusual shape caused by lighting and perspective. Still, such discoveries continue to captivate public attention and imagination, reminding us that in science, every finding has plausible explanations, even if it sometimes seems mysterious and strange. The 700-year-old Buddha head, hidden in the roots of an ancient tree. Ayutthaya, the historic city of Thailand, once stood as a symbol of prosperity and power. Founded in 1350, Ayutthaya became the second capital of the Siamese Kingdom, now Thailand. From the 14th to the 18th century, this city was not only a major commercial hub, but also the largest cultural and religious center in Southeast Asia. Built on river islands, Ayutthaya was known for its grand temples, golden Buddha statues, and majestic architecture, making it one of the largest cities in the world at that time. However, like many great civilizations, Ayutthaya faced harsh challenges. In 1767, the Burmese army, now Myanmar, invaded and devastated the city. Temples lay in ruins, Buddha statues were shattered, and a once thriving city became a desolate battlefield. This was one of the most brutal attacks in Southeast Asian history, causing great loss not only to Thailand, but also to human culture as a whole. Yet, the story of Ayutthaya did not end with destruction. In the 20th century, the Thai government made great efforts to restore and preserve this historic city. Thanks to continuous restoration work, Ayutthaya gradually revived, and in 1991, UNESCO recognized it as a World Heritage Site, protecting its monuments and cultural values. One of the most remarkable attractions for visitors in Ayutthaya is Wat Mahathat Temple, famous for a Buddha head hidden within the massive roots of a Bodhi tree. This Buddha statue is about 700 years old, and no one knows exactly why it was placed in this unique position. However, experts believe the image of the Buddha head, enveloped by intertwining roots, creates not only a mysterious scene, but also evokes a sense of transcendence, a sacred connection between humans and nature. There is also a local legend that when Ayutthaya was invaded, a soldier may have placed the Buddha head at the tree's base to protect it from destruction. Over time, the tree's roots grew around the statue, forming a vivid image symbolizing both endurance and the fierce vitality of Ayutthaya through the trials of history. While the true reason why the statue lies within the tree roots remains unknown, as you can see, this image is not only a captivating tourist destination, but also a powerful testament to the revival of a great culture, an emblem of resilience and hope. Ayutthaya, despite its tremendous losses, still stands tall, continuing to tell its story and remaining a precious heritage, not just for the Thai people, but for the world. The giant kidney-shaped beans on Mars. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, has discovered a strange phenomenon on the surface of Mars: giant kidney-shaped beans made of frozen material. These are actually frozen sand dunes located in the northern hemisphere of the red planet, covered by a layer of carbon dioxide ice during the winter season. The latest image, taken in September 2022 and released in December 2024, provides a top-down view of these unusual beans. Studying these dunes helps scientists understand whether there was ever enough water on Mars to support life in the past. The sand dunes in the image appear frozen and immobile because the carbon dioxide ice prevents the wind from blowing the sand, keeping the dunes from shifting until the ice melts in spring. Although carbon dioxide ice is not water, its presence suggests significant climate changes on Mars. This is important because research shows that the amount of carbon dioxide on Mars changes dramatically due to the planet's axial tilt. Whenever Mars tilts enough, the carbon dioxide ice can sublimate into gas, creating a thicker atmosphere capable of sustaining liquid water for extended periods. Changes in Mars' atmosphere may be a key factor in understanding whether the planet could have supported life in the past. If there were periods when the climate allowed liquid water to exist stably, it opens the possibility that Mars once hosted microbial life. Furthermore, studying the seasonal changes of carbon dioxide ice may help scientists identify new geological formations and better understand Mars' climate evolution. Discoveries like this not only clarify Mars's climatic history, but also help us imagine the planet's potential to have supported life or still conceal microbial life mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The Viking rock that reveals humanity's future. The Viking-era rock runestone, carved in the first half of the 9th century, was hidden for years wrapped in cloth inside a church in Östergötland, Sweden. It was discovered in 1843 by workers renovating the church, but wasn't officially uncovered and displayed until 1862. The stone bears mysterious inscriptions in runes, the ancient Viking script, encoded with a special logic that has puzzled scholars and scientists for centuries. Earlier this year, a research team from the University of Gothenburg, Sweden, led by Professor Per Holmberg, decoded the enigmatic text on the rock runestone. According to Professor Holmberg, the first 5 lines predict the apocalypse, specifically linked to the sun. The next 4 lines speak about Odin, the supreme god in Norse mythology. Odin is said to lead the gods and immortal in the final battle of the world, Ragnarok. The runestone was commissioned by Varin, a Viking chieftain. Other parts mention Theodoric, the feared leader of the Ostrogoths who ruled vast lands across Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire. Theodoric's reign marked the beginning of a long dark age in European history. A series of massive volcanic eruptions, along with famine through prolonged summers and winters, claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. According to the Chronicle of Procopius, in 536 AD, snow fell during summer. The sun shone dimly like the moon all year, and thick fog prevented crops from growing. Hundreds of thousands died from hunger and disease worldwide. Varin, who commissioned the rock runestone, apparently foresaw these events repeating again. The first 5 lines of the stone read, "A fierce solar storm turns the sky fiery red. Winter lasts all year, killing the crops. A solar eclipse occurs right after sunrise." All these are signs heralding an impending apocalypse. Archaeologists interpret the inscriptions on the rock runestone as a warning of an upcoming catastrophe. Global climate change. Varin's prophecies may well come true, though possibly with a timing slightly different from his expectations. Alien spaceship, hiding in the Amazon rainforest. In 2020, an unusual object resembling an alien spaceship was discovered deep within the Amazon rainforest, sparking a wave of public excitement and attracting the attention of many enthusiasts of mysterious phenomena. Satellite images showed an unidentified flying object, UFO, hidden among the dense foliage, believed to be quite large in size, fueling much speculation about its origin and purpose. The object's location was identified in the state of Rondônia, in the northwest of Brazil, a region known for its vast Amazon rainforest. From above, the object has a very distinct shape, leading many to associate it with an alien spacecraft. The appearance of a UFO in this dense jungle quickly caught the attention of social media users and UFO researchers, making the story spread rapidly. However, experts and scientists offered a different explanation. They suggested it could simply be an optical illusion or an artifact caused by satellite image interference. Some even argued the object might just be a light source or a bright orb accidentally discovered by Google Maps users. Other hypotheses propose the image might be a reflection of clouds or a technical glitch during the satellite photo capture. Despite all this, the strange object remains unexplained, leading many to continue believing it might be evidence of extraterrestrial life. So far, scientists have yet to reach a definitive conclusion about the mysterious object's origin, and all theories remain speculative. What about you? Do you believe this object is truly an alien spaceship, or could it be something else? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below so we can discuss together. The mystery of the ghostly mahogany ship at sea. World maritime history holds many mysteries about ghost ships and vessels that vanished without a trace. Some stories have been solved, but many remain unexplained to this day. Among the most notable is the mysterious disappearance of the mahogany ship off southern Australia. After hundreds of years, the whereabouts of this ship remain shrouded in darkness. About 2 to 4 miles west of Warrnambool, in southwestern Victoria, Armstrong Bay is one of Australia's most dangerous coastal areas. It's estimated that around 200 different ships and boats have been lost in these waters. All wrecks have been found except for the Mahogany ship. The story began in January 1836 when Captain Smith, who managed a whaling station at Ferry Cove, along with 2 men named Wilson and Gibb, were shipwrecked. On their way home, they discovered the remains of an old ship unlike any vessel built in the 1800s. The ship's wood was very dark, and many believed it was made from mahogany, a type of wood almost never used in shipbuilding. From then on, the name Mahogany Ship was born. Surprisingly, after the 3 men's discovery, no one else ever saw the wreck again. 10 years later, the Mahogany Ship story resurfaced in southern Australia when another captain named Mills claimed to have seen the wreck and even stood on its deck resting on the sand. He described the exact location in later documents. However, just like before, the wreck disappeared shortly after. This mysterious pattern repeated throughout the 1800s. By the late 19th century, the Mahogany Ship was reported appearing and vanishing mysteriously over 30 times. The first expedition to find the wreck took place in June 1890, led by Joseph Archibald, but yielded no results. Following this, many rushed to search for the legendary shipwreck, but all efforts were in vain. Over time, the story faded into obscurity, surviving only as folklore. Towards the end of the 20th century, the Mahogany Ship story was revived once more. In 1992, the Victorian government offered a reward equivalent to about $225,000 for anyone who could locate the wreck. Despite the involvement of many reputable archaeologists, the ship remains lost in the shadows. Most 19th century documents suggest the Mahogany Ship was a Spanish vessel. According to local writer Jack Loney, there are 2 main theories about its origin. It could be the Santa Isabel, which sailed from Peru in 1522, or the Santa Ana, a ship that sank in 1812 carrying 45 tons of whale oil. Many believe it's unnecessary to chase the truth behind a ship that may exist only in legend, like the Mahogany Ship. However, if the ship did exist, it could rewrite a significant part of maritime history. If the Mahogany Ship is not of British origin, historians would need to reconsider who actually mapped Australia's southern coast, rather than crediting the famous British captain James Cook. Some experts even think the ship was part of a secret Portuguese mission searching for the legendary southern lands. The ship may have sunk in 1522 during a voyage to find gold-hidden islands. The secrecy of the mission could explain why the ship's loss was never recorded in ancient documents. Regardless, all these remain hypotheses. The story of the Mahogany Ship remains hidden in darkness, awaiting answers in the future. The Forgotten Pyramid in Koh Ker Temple. Koh Ker Temple is located in northeastern Cambodia. According to historical records, General Jayavarman IV broke away from the Angkor royal court due to disagreements with the king. He established his own kingdom and commissioned a new temple complex at Koh Ker to serve as his capital and place of worship. Construction began in 921 AD and was completed in 944 AD. While Angkor Wat attracts millions of visitors annually, Koh Ker remains largely forgotten due to difficult access and limited restoration efforts. The Koh Ker Pyramid stands in a vast, flat forested area, enclosed within a large outer wall. It is also surrounded by an extensive system of artificial canals and reservoirs, which enhance the pyramid's height and prominence against the sky. Recent measurements show the pyramid's base edges are about 216 feet wide, with a height of 131 feet at the top. The structure remains in excellent condition. Its walls are made from a combination of volcanic stones inside and harder sandstone blocks on the exterior. The outer stones vary in size and are arranged in an interlocking, staggered pattern. The bricks are naturally fitted together without mortar or cement. Unlike modern construction, hexagonal bricks serve as keys locking other bricks tightly in place. The 7-tiered pyramid symbolizes a sacred number in Hinduism. The first tier contains 11 rows of bricks, the second has 13 rows, and tiers 3 through 7 each have 11 rows. The pyramid faces east, but its only staircase to the top is on the west side. There is no entrance to the pyramid's interior, suggesting it may lie hidden underground. Scientists studying Koh Ker's design believe it functions as an energy amplifier. The pyramid's shape is ideally suited to generate and magnify natural energy. Additionally, the building materials, sandstone, which conducts electricity, combined with iron-rich volcanic rock, may act as a natural power source. The surrounding artificial lakes and canals channel water ions as energy sources, possibly harnessing steam dynamics as well. Smaller concentric square terraces and walls help focus geomagnetic energy into the pyramid, amplifying its power. So far, all of this remains theoretical. The true origin and purpose of the Koh Ker pyramid remain a mystery. The roads, covered with molten iron, 2,000 years ago. About 2,000 years ago, the ancient Romans in Pompeii created a masterpiece in road construction. American researchers analyzed stone roads, many of which remain intact after nearly 2 millennia, and discovered strange traces of molten iron on the finest stretches. The Pompeii authorities had invented an extremely effective and inexpensive road repair technology that involved using molten iron. According to Professor Eric Poehler, this is the first large-scale confirmation found by scientists that supports the hypothesis of molten iron technology used by the ancient Romans. With the city's age reaching 2,000 years, what they achieved is truly astonishing. After heating the iron until molten, slaves transported it to damaged road sections and filled in cracks and worn areas. Some of these repaired roads were found completely intact. However, how the Romans managed to melt iron to a point where it could be carefully poured into cracked pavement remains a mystery. To obtain molten iron, they had to heat iron slag and scraps to temperatures between 2012 degrees and 2,912 degrees Celsius. Remarkably, archaeologists found some advanced Roman furnaces nearby. Could it be that ancient people had reached such a high level of technology? Pompeii was known as a modern, highly civilized metropolis. Sadly, this city was buried alive by a volcanic disaster, leaving behind haunting ruins and petrified people. The $650 billion Nazi treasure hidden in the forest. The Daily Mail reported that a Nazi treasure worth 500 million British pounds, about $650 billion USD, was discovered in a forest in Germany. However, the finder has been forbidden from excavating it because the forest owner refuses permission. Hans Glueck, 76, who found this massive treasure, said the forest owner wants exclusive rights to the treasure. According to Daily Mail, the hoard contains gold, silver, diamonds, and valuable artworks. Some historical documents indicate that in the final days of Nazi Germany, Commander Heinrich Himmler ordered his subordinates to hide all their assets. The treasure was buried somewhere in the Alps, with Nazi leaders planning to return later to retrieve it. After fleeing to Austria, Kaltenbrunner was captured by American troops. At Kaltenbrunner's home, U.S. soldiers discovered 167 pounds of gold buried in the garden. A few days later, he was executed for war crimes. Kaltenbrunner's death left the whereabouts of the billion-dollar gold treasure uncertain. The gold hoard is believed to be buried in the Bavarian forest in Germany, and only Hans Glueck knows its exact location. After the Nazis hid the treasure there, the Soviets won an important victory and captured all Nazi soldiers in the area. Glueck says that to find the treasure, a map is needed. Without guidance, an ordinary person would never find around $650 billion gold hoard. In 1995, Glueck gave an interview on Bavaria TV, sharing that he had traveled extensively to Greece, Portugal, and the US searching for treasure. Among these, his quest for the Nazi treasure brought him worldwide fame. After the Bavaria TV interview, an unknown man called him claiming to have a map that might interest you. This map reportedly belonged to a Nazi officer and was seized by Soviet forces. It was then sent to Siberia, where it came into the hands of the caller. Daily Mail suggests that this map helped Glueck pinpoint the Nazi treasure's burial site. However, to this day, whether the Nazi gold treasure truly exists remains a mystery without any confirmed answer. Dear friends, in light of the strange and surprising discoveries made in recent years, the scientific community faces many unanswered questions. Phenomena that once seemed illogical continue to challenge traditional hypotheses, opening up a new horizon for human understanding and awareness of the universe and life itself. These mysteries not only spark curiosity, but also drive deeper research, demanding creativity and innovation in scientific methods. It can be said that every unusual discovery marks an important step forward, bringing humanity closer to the profound truths hidden within the wonders of nature. And surely the journey to unravel these mysteries will continue, carrying with it the hope of breakthrough findings in the near future. So, what about you? Which discovery impresses you the most? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. For now, goodbye and see you next time.